Welcome, ladies, to the segment of the Situation Room called Dear Sheldon. This is a segment that is set up for subscribers to post questions. It's a question and answer segment. But once a week, I will choose one of those questions to bring to video for open discussion. And so we want to start this week, and I've picked a question from the forum. And the question is, how does a woman on the move continue to walk in grace and integrity when her kindness is mistaken for a weakness? This often happens. I just want to know ways and suggestions in how to handle this respectfully and gracefully. Again, respectfully and gracefully. I think that's so important that she understands that she just can't act any kind of way. But I also want to answer this question in a way that will provoke you to thought. First of all, it's obvious that such a one has a problem with the ministry called no. Anyone who knows me knows that this is one of my favorite sayings. No is an anointed word, and we don't use it enough. It is a ministry all into itself. And sometimes it's a much needed ministry, especially when we're women on the move and we're progressing. People see that we can get results. Sometimes it causes people to reach for us who don't need to reach for us or reach for us too often. And so I have considered this question, and I have some insight into it. First of all, to gracefully do it is a wonderful thing. But grace is in your carriage and not always in the volume of your voice. Okay? Sternness can be expressed in velvet as well as in steel. Strength isn't always shown forcefully, but often can be shown just by a resolve. It's okay to say to someone, I've done enough, with a smile and soft voice. So, suggestions. Your carriage, the way you handle yourself, will communicate to someone enough is enough. All right? It doesn't always have to be expressed in the volume of voice. Sternness can be as soft as velvet as well as hard as steel. It's okay to say, all right, I've done enough. It's okay to say no. And it is okay to say enough. This is why we can't say yes to everything and everyone. Oftentimes, because they gave us a yes, we feel obligated to give them a yes. Because someone asks doesn't mean that we have to fulfill what they've asked for. The worst thing we can do is ignore the situation or the person. That's not integritous. If we tire or we feel as though our time is up helping someone or giving someone what they've asked for, a lot of times because we by nature don't like confrontation, we'll just ignore. We won't answer the phone calls. We'll avoid. But that's the worst thing you can do because it's not integritous. We're just delaying the inevitable. Confrontation sometimes have to be practiced. Now, I'm kind of out of the box, but I had to practice confrontation. I'm a pastor, and so I often have to confront issues in people. And it's never easy to do, but there is a correct way to do it. I had to learn how to confront. I had a situation that I had to confront, and it wasn't a church situation. It really was a personal situation with a friend or someone that I thought was a friend. But I already knew, the signals were there that this person wasn't as much a friend to me as I would have wanted them to be, or as I was to them, but I ignored the signals. And it finally, as they would say, snowballed. And so what I did, I wrote out my rebuttal. As a lawyer, I took the stance of a lawyer. I practiced how I would confront. All right? I wrote it out. You find, write out your feelings. Write out what it is you want to say to such a one. And then practice it. Of course, it's not going to be scripted when you get to the confrontation, but at least you'll have the information available of what you want to communicate to them. Remember, the grace is in your carriage, is how you carry yourself. If you study human nature, our very energies tell people how we're coming at them. The carriage of your body, how your shoulders are set. Try your best when you have to give someone a no you know is not going to be receptive of the no, or you're going to have to stop a behavior that you know they're not going to be pleasant with that behavior. You need to practice. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxed. Make sure that you know what you want to say before you go into the conversation, and then know how far you will allow the conversation to go. Have key words that will be expressed by such a one that you know it is time to end this conversation and to exit the conversation. We need to practice the exit of a room as well as the entry thereof. We prepare ourselves to enter in, but we don't prepare ourselves to exit. And so relationships are the same thing, are the same way. We need to practice how we're going to exit relationships as well as how we enter them. As gracefully as you entered into a relationship, you make a determination that I will gracefully leave it. What are the words that will cause you to not entertain the situation anymore? Is it disrespect? Disrespectful words? Do not allow a situation, a confrontation, or a relationship to draw you into a place that you lose your integrity or your control. My emotions and my feelings are in my hands. Therefore, until I can confront in a way that I know I will continue to maintain those things, I will gracefully carry myself in a manner that says enough is enough. A smile will always, always override a frown. A soft answer will always, always outweigh a forceful reply. Always remember, ladies, you are ladies, and you are on your way to your next place. Don't allow this place to cause you to enter the next place handicapped. So I hope that I have helped such a one with this, with the ministry of no. Again, become a lawyer. At home, write out your rebuttal. Write out, what do you think? Why do you think this is over? All right. Always praise before you correct. Always encourage before you end. So go in with a smile, but be able also to exit with the smile. Love you. Again, this is Ask Sheldon. Look in the Situation Room. And if you have a question that I can possibly answer, I will be more than glad to answer it. And once a week, we will be featuring one of these questions. Now, if you need more than what can be answered in the question and answered segment, or that I can address like this, then you're going to need one-on-one counseling. And that's a whole different thing. There's a section on here for one-on-one counseling, and that is an additional fee, but not an expensive fee, and I'll be more than glad to counsel you through it. I love you. I encourage you. And remember, forcefulness can be as soft as velvet. Doesn't always have to be as hard as steel. Until the next time, this is Sheldon.